again, the one and only Killer Redan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon by, talking about something Disney related, of course. So I just figured I'll just do this topic here, and I want to do my best to make this as short as possible and whatnot, because there's a lot of other videos I would like to cover, of course, when it comes to my Disney-a-thon. But, So yeah, I guess a bit of an update for Frozen 3, I guess. Again, talking about this a number of times and whatnot. There's something from apparently the guy who voiced Olaf, and like if anything is gonna happen like at all. And I know I shared my opinion on Frozen 3. Well, at least to be more exact, the possibility of Frozen 3. As far as I'm concerned, leave it alone. Why we're in a good thing. And but yeah, there's already a bunch of shorts, a bunch of books, a bunch of comics, and two two full-length feature films. Let's just leave it at that. But anyway, and the fan base has been asking about it as well. It's since Frozen, both films have become one of the biggest animated hits that Disney had produced in recent memory. So yeah, it was really popular, of course. And Frozen 2 became the rare Disney Princess sequel to get a theatrical release. Because the vast majority of the time, the Disney Princess sequel, spin-off, prequel, or whatever you call it, side story, whatever, mid-quill, like they would say in some of these cases, 99.99% of the time, it's a direct-to-video sequel. Frozen 2 was the first Disney Princess sequel to actually be theatrically released. So, yeah, I guess it's a landmark for them because of this, and also it was a massive hit as well. But, yeah, the guy who voiced Olaf, yeah, he said, there were no other plans at this time for another one, of course, but, uh, that doesn't mean it won't happen down the line, he says, and whatnot. I guess I kind of see what he's going there because Frozen 2 wasn't planned, but they eventually made that like about 6 years later after the original. So yeah, I could kind of see why he would say that. Oh, okay, that I guess does make sense in some ways, I suppose. And but yeah, uh, it's hopefully it just won't be done just for nostalgia's sake. I guess. Yes, Frozen has been around long enough. You can call it nostalgic. I guess you can say because the first film came out in 2013, and it's already 2021. So yeah, it's been a hot minute. But yeah, Frozen 2 thankfully did it quite well. Very well. It actually um beat the first one. Actually surpassed the original film when it comes to making the money in the box office. The first film the first film was already a massive success as it is becoming the highest grossing film animated wise from Disney at the time. Before Frozen, their highest grossing animated film when it comes to making money was The Lion King, the original one. And then they haven't had a smash hit like the Lion King again when it comes to money. I mean, up until Frozen, the first one came out, and then that was beat by Frozen 2. So yeah, but the guy who did the voice for Olaf in the Frozen franchise spoke out about that if a third story worth telling is found with then the Frozen 3 could be actually happen, of course. But as of right now, that doesn't exist for the time being. So and okay, he's not really giving anything. I guess you can say, as he said that he doesn't know. Well, he mean here's the deal. I guess he says Frozen 2 wasn't Frozen 2 until there was a reason for the film to exist. I guess you can say, according to what he said. And similarly, he doesn't know if there's going to be a third installment franchise. And yeah, he's not quite sure himself really if it is actually going to happen like at all. So yes, it could be a possibility to take these characters and bring them back to a sense of hope and inspiration. Uh, yeah, that's it's above his head, I guess you can say. But maybe there's some glimmer of hope, I guess you can say, of a possibility of a third film. Maybe could, would, should, perhaps. And of course, the team at the Disney and him had teamed up in the past couple of weeks, and whatnot, when it comes to continuing the Frozen saga and whatnot. And but if they're gonna do anything, it's not gonna be in the form of a third installment, I guess you can say. So again, it doesn't seem likely. So I'm trying to get out of here, folks. But of course, this doesn't stop the fans from hoping. This I'm just talking about the guy who did the voice for Olaf. And so yeah, yeah. At the of course, of course in some ways he said he was ready to say goodbye to his role of Olaf. And I don't know, even though despite the fact he did do some shorts with character, of course. And so yeah, just time is of the essence. Time is money, I guess you'd say, when it comes to business. So would he actually pick up the role for Olaf in a third film if it does get made? You see, that's the thing is that uh, would it just be focused on Elsa and all that without Olaf? That doesn't necessarily. I mean, they could do that, I guess, somehow, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a third installment, even if he leaves the role permanently. But that's kind of the problem I have here. There's too many ifs. There's too many maybe this, maybe that, could this, could. There's too many maybes going on here. Too many questions, I guess you would say. So, yeah. Now, of course, Disney Plus is now an option for a lot of people for future Disney projects and whatnot. Could easily see Olaf and his friends maybe appear in places other than the big screen with a bunch of shorts, I guess you can say. I mean, this not making a third movie doesn't mean that Olaf himself can't appear in various shorts. So, yeah, this could still be something, I guess you would say. I don't know. And, I guess, there's a lot of stuff, the fans will want to see in Frozen 3. You're also going to want to see such a film to be worthy of to be have the Frozen name on it. Of course, this implies that you're going to have to find the right material to find the right story that's important enough for such characters. And at the same time, the guy who voiced Olaf felt like Frozen 2 doesn't necessarily need a follow up. It was satisfying the way it was, where it left the characters and whatnot. So if they go on another adventure, it has to be worthy of it. So yeah, again, this doesn't exactly answer a whole lot of questions really, because does this mean they would do it? I guess that's a maybe. I guess they could. So yeah, about that. All right, I should wrap things up already. I guess because like I said, I'm trying to keep this short as possible. Because there's other topics I would like to bring up and whatnot. There's a lot of other videos I want to talk about, folks. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I guess that's what I gotta kind of say. I mean, you could use diversity, like a lot of people want diversity in the princess movies. You could fit that into the story somehow. Okay, show diversity from this or that. People having different identities and whatnot. Okay, but what's the story? What's the plot? The who, what, when, and where, and how, and whatnot. Uh, you know, would it be important enough to have the story set up? So, and that's also, again, I think I've already mentioned like multiple times already. I'm trying to do my best not to come off repetitive, I guess you can say. Is that the third part curse? I've seen so many bad third parts, folks. I mean, I do mean a lot of bad third parts when it comes to film franchises. And I mean, they might try to pick themselves up for with a fourth and fifth installment, but already ultimately making things worse, which yes has happened with franchises. The third part might be garbage. Then they're trying to fix up their mistake by making a fourth one, but then you know making it worse. But then they're trying to fix that by making a fifth movie, and then ruin that. even further. What immediately comes to mind is Mass Effect 3, which, of course, a lot of people felt that it has to be one of the worst third installments of all time, rightfully so. So, the people behind those games did Mass Effect Andromeda, which is their fourth installment. I guess, again, trying to fix up their mistake, which the game was incredibly mediocre. So, as a result of that, since it got such a lukewarm response, they were actually planning to make a fifth installment as a way to correct the course, I guess you can say. So there's a possibility they may make fifth one because of this, like I just said. But yeah, do we want this to happen to the Frozen films? Do you want this to happen? It's just I mean, they could I don't know, maybe learn from other people's mistakes. But I mean, you think the other people would have done that because a lot of people have repeatedly done the same mistake over and over and over and over and over again. So yeah, this can be I guess uh uh a trick, a really bad thing, I guess. Inside it could be really it's a gamble. And Disney had produced bad movies before when it comes to sequels, and a good chunk of the sequels are terrible. If anything, they became infamous for making bad sequels. Oh boy. So that's something to keep in mind, folks. I'm just saying. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Later, I guess. I don't know. We just see how this go, I guess, folks.